and welcome to this month's RC Racing, and we are off to Italy, the very heart of Italy. In fact, the heart of Italy, which is Ferrari and Modena, and we're going there for the 1/12 Modified European Championship, the fastest class. These little cars will whiz around up to 50 miles an hour, but to describe the action, it's John Hindhaugh.
So here's the PROTOform and Zen Racing lineup for the EFRA 1/12 Modified European Finals here in Italy. It's Alexander Hagberg on the X-Ray from Sweden, who has pole position from Ollie Jeffries, also on an X-Ray. The German on point is Marcus Bobers on 3, Loris Alexander from France on 4-5. Daniel Seidler on the Yokomo from Germany. The Finn Simo Ananomi on the CRC in 6th position. Arnaud Lampierre from France 7. Dominic Voll from Germany 8. Hugo Honigel from Austria 9. And rounding it all off from Italy, Massimo Fantini. So Alex Hagberg then on the X-Ray. The X-Ray of Ollie Jeffries in behind. They both get a decent start. Straight into the technical stuff here on the carpet in Italy. We're just a wheel nuts throw away from the spiritual and actual home of Ferrari at Modena, 30 miles or so up the road. And it is poleman Hagberg from Sweden who gets away from Ollie Jeffries in second place. Just about holding on to it, but beginning to come under pressure from Marcus Mobers and Laurent Alexander and everyone else down from 3rd position. Remember that big accident that Ollie Jeffries had in the final qualifying, and maybe still just slightly struggling as he's coming under pressure now. Had to rebuild the X-Ray in between final qualifying and this first of potentially 3 finals. And now he's got company, and that's Marcus Mobers. And he has a look down the inside. Mobers can't make it though. Very quick through that chicane there on the driver's side of the circuit. That is a very interesting place to try a passing manoeuvre. We've seen it through the qualifying sessions right there, and then a hard braking that's almost coming to a dead stop there as you see the guys flick the cars sideways. Not a huge amount of room in this sports hall here. Oh, there's contact there, and that has certainly hampered Mobers. And he's got, is that Alexander? I know that's Honigel, who's come up from grid 9 to what is 4th position. 2nd, 3rd and 4th together then. Not Hubert Honigel on that white CRC. This sports hall at Scandiano has once again put on a fantastic European event, the EFRA 1/12 Modified Finals here. Not a huge amount of room around the sides, and a very technical circuit on the infield as you can see, and it's backing up everybody behind Ollie Jeffries. And now you begin to wonder, don't you, if he got that rebuild right. There was scrambling just a little bit in the time taken, and in the bright orange that is Fantini from 10th position, the local man. Oh, and over goes Honigel, and Fantini goes up into 4th position. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, absolutely together, and oh, a big coming together there. Mobers, Honigel, all involved, and Ollie Jeffries tipped out of it, and that's Massimo Fantini up into 2nd place. So Fantini then from grid 10. Now, which of the white cars is that in 3rd position? I think that's Laurent Alexander from grid 4, the Frenchman. Everybody else in 5th at the moment as Ollie Jeffries tries to hold on. And then Daniel Siebers come through on the Yokomo. And Jeffries there down in 6th position with the yellow and white X-Ray. By the way, out the front, Alex Hagberg is just reading off laps. Not really getting himself too flustered. Just letting all of this action go on behind him, and it's a cracking battle, isn't it, for 2nd, 3rd and 4th positions. It's the usual script if you're a regular viewer to rcracing.tv, with the best 2 of 3 finals counting. And the further up the grid you are, the better it is. Obviously, if you get 2 wins in 2 runs, you don't have to come out for the 3rd one. That does sometimes happen, and it's considered protocol that if you've already won it, you step aside and let everyone battle for the minor places on the overall podium. So Hagberg out front, then Massimo Fantini here, under pressure from Laurent Alexander, the Frenchman. Fantastic opening run from the Italian on that bright orange machine there. who's come from grid 10, fought his way through. And is that a lapped car ahead of him? I think it is. And so that shouldn't worry about that too much at the moment, but he will just have to plan and scheme how he's going to get through as Alexander begins to look a little more racy now. Such a heavy stop there into that left-hand hairpin after the quick chicane down the front straight. It is a very technical circuit here. The drivers sort of shrugging their shoulders at it when we've spoken to them this week, but clearly some of them like it more than others, and it is certainly playing into the hands of Fantini here. And there's been a mistake behind him because Alexander's dropped away. Now here's Hagberg. Almost, he's just about lapped the whole field now. This is remarkable stuff. Hagberg with the fastest times, obviously, to get himself on that pole position. And he's made the best use of it, hasn't he? As he has slower traffic ahead of him. The blue and white car ahead is not a race for position. Really should be stepping out of the way there with the leader behind, and that was decent driving. Maybe a lap or so later than it should have been, and in fairness it didn't look as though Hagberg was getting antsy behind him. And now in fact gets a little bit of hassle from the lapped driver, which he shouldn't be doing. As Hagberg then, with time counting down, has... That's Ollie Jeffries he's just gone by. The man who started on the similar machine, the X-Ray, in second place, and Jeffries is having a nightmare here. And you've got to wonder, don't you, whether he's managed to get all the setup absolutely right after that big rebuild in between final qualifying and this final. Well, it's a demo drive, isn't it? And Alex Hagberg coming through on his final lap to take a very simple victory. There is the timing being. He's crossed it and he has the win under his belt. So let's confirm then, winning at the canter, Alex Hagberg from pole position. Laurent Alexander from grid 4 in second, and Daniel Sieber from grid 5 in third. Massimo Fantini, flattered to deceive, running as high as second, ends up in 5th position from grid 10 at the end.
We'll be back with the second and third legs of this thrilling A-final in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at HPI Racing's Sprint 2 RTR X.
Well, the addition, subtraction and everything else is simple. The equation for Alex Hagberg is win again, and he's European champion for 2014 in the 1/12 modified EFRA finals here with PROTOform and Zen Racing on rcracing.tv. He's done it again. He's cleared off from the pole position, and once again it's Marcus Mobus who's come through into second place. Ollie Jeffries again not having a great run. He was rather scratching his head between these two parts of the final. One more to come, of course, for him possibly, but is his opportunity to become European Championship already gone? Only finished down in 8th position in the first run, and at the moment he's not having another good one here. And that's the battle for third position at the moment, with Jeffries hanging on to it. Sieber and Ananomi behind him. And Daniel Sieber, I was quite impressed with on the Yokomo, and he's gone through. I thought he was quite impressive coming through to third position in the first run. Now there's the leader, Hagberg. Oh, was that a lap car behind him? That's not an issue. There's your second place man, and that is the on point of the German Marcus Mobers, with the very distinctive colour scheme. And it's looked good this weekend. A little bit disappointing, I think, Marcus, that he only qualified in third position and ran well in the first heat, but eventually, first part of the final should I say, but eventually finished in fourth position, so really needs to put some pressure on the leader here. And got to get a win, has to get a win here to take it to a third running. Now that is Massimo Fantini, the next driver to come under pressure and go a lap down from Alexander Hagberg on the X-Ray, the Swede, cool as a cucumber in the first running of the final. And Fantini got a cracking start, ran as high as second in that first part of the final. Thought he might have been able to challenge, but just lost a bit of concentration in the last few minutes. Easy to do on a very technical circuit like this here in Italy. Through goes Hagberg again, and he's got a lot of traffic coming, but he is a past master at this. We've seen him come under immense pressure in the past and some fantastic battles. He knows how to win big meetings. Now Marcus Mobers has to try and get closer, has to be there in case there's a slight fumble by the leader when he's got cars ahead of him that are battling for minor positions. He's not close enough at the moment, and he's not putting that pressure on. And at the moment, once again, Alex Hagberg is just dictating the pace here. And just look at the body language of Hagberg's X-Ray, even as he comes to lap drivers. And that's Ollie Jeffries going backwards again. Got to question that rebuild, haven't you, between final qualifying at the start of the finals. He'd been having another look at that, I would think, but it's cost him any chance, hasn't it, of the European Championship. But Hagberg's car is just not moving around. He doesn't look under pressure. He's very smooth. This is a bit of a point and squirt circuit. I wouldn't say that it was a rhythm circuit like some. Concentration levels need to be super high here. There's a lot of big stops. And there is Marcus Mobers coming through in second place. And again, he's just, for me, he's just not close enough. He's just over a second and a half behind at the moment. And he needs to be within the second, I think. He needs to find half a second, maybe 6/10, just to try and get a bit of pressure on, so that Hagberg is metaphorically at least looking over his shoulder when he comes to pass back markers in traffic. And that little bit of pressure is just what's lacking at the moment. But Mobers doing well, very consistent on the lap times at the moment. And he at the moment is the only driver who can stop Alex Hagberg from going 2-4-2 and taking this 12th modified EFRA European Championship. On rcracing.tv, our coverage with PROTOform and Zen Racing, who have been great supporters of this European summer season of finals, both live and here on rcracing.tv across Europe. And it's been a great summer so far, and plenty more to come, as Mobers comes up to Massimo Fantini, who shows good race etiquette. Mix of hard sides and curbing on this circuit here in Italy. Just catch one or two people out. You've got to remember which bits you can't hit and run over. And there is our leader. And that's Hupo Honigel on the CRC, the Austrian starting grid 9, who is behind him on the white CRC there. He's gone a lap back as well. Seldom have I seen so much dominance by a single driver in a set of finals at EFRA European championship level. And you can see now that Hagberg is not trying to put the gap on the second place driver, or the second car there, who got in the way. Now he's a lapped driver, remember, Honeygall, and that has allowed Morbers to get in within striking distance. Now this has all of a sudden come to life. We were dozing off a little bit here, but all of a sudden Hagberg, who has been like a goalkeeper with nothing to do, has lost the lead, and he's been found wanting. The concentration's gone there, not once but twice, and there was a bit of sportsmanship there because there wasn't coming together, and it did look though Morbers had gone through. Now how will the race stewards call that one? Ooh, let's have another look at this. Well, there was contact there, and he was told to stop and wait, which he did. And there's the line coming up just to the left-hand side. There's the line there. Ooh. I think Hagberg's just got that, and it's been confirmed. Marcus Morbers not happy with that. Hagberg takes the second final running, and Nick is down with the drivers.
Alex, quick word. That is a fantastic performance, but that was a really odd last lap.
Yeah, I think I slowed down a little bit and hit a back marker. I can't really remember, but yeah, Marcus hit me and he let me go. So,
well, let's confirm the results then with PROTOform and Zen Racing by a tiny margin. Alex Hagberg takes it from Marcus Morbers. Seymour Ananimi in third position ahead of Lawrence Alexander, the biggest mover. Hubert Honeygall in fifth position. So Hagberg, the new EFRA 112th modified champion of Europe, means he doesn't have to go in this one. Leaves Ollie Jeffries on pole, and he gets away. And look at this, transformed this X-Ray. Ollie's had it all to pieces and rebuilt it again. And at the moment, it looks like whatever he didn't do right the first time he rebuilt it, he's got absolutely spot on here. And just look at the late afternoon sun streaming in through the skylights here in Italy. And that's difficult not only for our cameras but for the drivers as well. Those big dark and light patches, difficult for people to just spot what's going on. And you can see that at the moment Ollie Jeffries from the UK is pulling out. Now I don't know if this is better or worse for him, because he's had two finishes where he was down in 8th and 6th position. And that clearly was as a result not of his driving, but of some kind of snafu after that big qualifying shunt that he had before the final started. Something not quite right on the X-Ray. And now he's rebuilt it again. He was sure that it was okay in terms of what he'd done, but he felt it was necessary to take the time to do it in between the second and third of the finals. And now it is a transformed Ollie Jeffries and his X-Ray that leads out from Marcus Morbers in second place at the moment. And as I say, I think he'd be frustrated with that, because clearly something was tweaked on the car, or not quite done up correctly, because he's found the speed in this final that he simply did not have in the previous two. Couldn't challenge Hagberg. Hagberg not in this one. He's already won the first two, so he sits it out and allows everyone else to play for the second and third steps on the European Championship podium. Norman Jeffries then with pace aplenty through the very technical infield. It's raced well, this circuit. There are places that you can pass. It's not easy, but it doesn't need to be. As you can see from the shading there, it is quite bumpy. The carpet hasn't gone down absolutely flat, and that has caused a few raised eyebrows. And this is carpet that's not in its first flush of youth either. It's had one or two usages before. Fairly tight circuit, basically defined by the confines of the sports hall that we're in here at Scandiano. 50 miles an hour at the end of the fastest straight, so speeds are right up there, and credit to the organisers here who put on a good event. And it is still Jeffries then coming up to lap Massimo Fantini. who had the very good first final run, but has not been able to replicate that since, carrying the tricolore and the hopes of the home crowd, as the battle for the lead now between Ollie Jeffries on the X-ray and the on point of Marcus Mobers, the German, in second place. Don't worry about the orange car at the moment. And behind them though, coming through, that is the third place car. The battle is for first and second at the moment. Mobers with a fourth and a second at the moment is favourite for the second place overall in the championship standings. In fact, he doesn't need the win here, because Ollie hasn't had the best of results, as I mentioned before, with a 8th and a 6th. I think they fancy a win though if you can get one. His nearest competition, Lauren Alexander, has got a 2nd and a 4th. Simo Ananomi has got a 3rd. So either of those two could be a bit of a challenge, but at the moment he's sitting in the box seat in second position, Marcus Mobers, to be vice champion of the EFRA 112 modified here on rcracing.tv with PROTOform and Zen Racing. And Ollie Jeffries just absolutely soaking up this pressure, and I think he'll go away from this very disappointed, because clearly he has had the speed. And the lap times that we're seeing now are comparable with what Hagberg was doing earlier on. Now, Hagberg has been good all week, in fairness, and I'm not saying that he wouldn't still have won the championship, but surely with this kind of pace being shown by Ollie Jeffries, surely he would have been giving him a better run. And our computer predictive software at the moment is saying that this is the fastest of the 3 finals that we've seen. Now, that doesn't surprise me, because there's a battle on at the front that is pushing both of these drivers on, and in fairness, Hagberg was never challenged, so he was cruising, wasn't he? But it's a bit of a what if then, as far as the battles at the front of the field. We can relish this one that we have at the moment and enjoy it, with Ollie Jeffries still leading out as we move into the final portion of these EFRA 112 modifieds in Italy. Hagberg already crowned the champion, and it looks like Marcus Mobers is driving his way to second position. And as it stands at the moment, Lauren Alexander is doing enough, I think, in 7th position to get himself on the 3rd step of the podium. Last lap, and Ollie Jeffries salvages some pride for himself, for X-Ray and the UK, by taking the 3rd run of the final, with Mobers in 2nd place, and that will confirm Marcus Mobers in 2nd position in the championship standings. Dominic Vogel coming through into 3rd place ahead of Simo Ananomi, and Lauren Alexander on count back will be 3rd in the championship standings.